Good morning, people. Welcome to another round of the films I watched this week. I feel like doing this again. I have a new book. I did this, I think, for a year last year. I feel like doing it again. So that's what we're doing. So I started off the week, which was last Friday, and I watched Uncharted. That new film with Tom Holland and I've even written his name down. The Wahlberg guy. Based on a game that I played about 10 minutes of back in the day, so I don't know anything about it. But, I give it a 6. It's alright, once it gets going, there's plenty of action, plenty of fighting, plenty of stuff moving on. You've got helicopters carrying ships, For what it is, it's fine. It's fine. Then I watched a British classic, Quatermass in the Pit from 1967, a Hammer film, I believe. Something is found in an underground railway station. An underground railway station is a subway for you Americans. What is it? Well, it's not as scary or as creepy as what you might think. It's very Hammer of its time. But I've always liked it. I give it a 6 because, as I say, I've always liked it. Then I watched a very loud, very noisy film that I've seen before, but not for a long time. Ghost Rider 2, Spirit of Vengeance. I've seen these Ghost Rider films before. They're all right. 2014, the effects of the rider, I think they're still pretty good. But when he's on screen, when Nicolas Cage turns into the rider, man, it's very loud, very in your face, lots of loud music. And this one, he's got to protect a kid. I give it a 5. Then I sat down and I watched that one again. Only the second time I've seen this. Everyone knows this. Everyone knows that. Rick Dalton, Cliff Booth, you've got Sharon Tate, you've got the Manson Family and Hollywood in the late 60s. Very good. I give that a big 8. A big 8. And another one. Play Misty For Me. Yes, Clint Eastwood's a DJ at night time in a beautiful place, Carmel by the Sea, which might be where Clint Eastwood moved to at one stage. He might even still live there, I don't know. But that woman there, she's a caller, and they meet up, and suddenly he's in a world of trouble because they spend the night together, and then she thinks they're married. She won't leave him alone, turns up every single place that he goes, and it's a very, very good film. 1971, I give it a 7. I liked it. Then, a couple of years ago, Mike mentioned this film somewhere or others, and then I went out and I bought it. I loved it, absolutely loved it. I still like it. City of the Dead, 1960. All about witches. In fact, it even starts off with the tried and tested formula of a woman is a witch. She's tied to a stake and she's burnt, but she puts a curse on the village. Now, I thought, why don't these people, when they catch the witch, chop her head off, then burn the body, so she can't put any curses on anything? But Christopher Lee's in this with a stupid American accent, all set in a little town where this witch was burned, and it's a beautiful looking place, and weird stuff happens. She's going there to research witchcraft, and she's in a world of trouble because it's a weird place. I give it a 7. I like it. Beautiful. I don't often talk about picture quality and all that kind of stuff, but really nice looking black and white film. A 7 out of 10. Then a film I shouldn't like, but I watched this because I watched a couple of weeks ago 50 First Dates. So I watched Blended with Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler. Now, this is Sandler and Barrymore. They go on a blind date. They don't like each other. It's a disaster. Then later on, they end up at the same safari resort with their families. Drew Barrymore's got 2 boys, slightly odd, and Adam Sandler's got 3 girls. And they end up in the same place, and you can guess what happens. I give it a 6 because I chuckled a few times. Like, one joke in 5 would make me chuckle. Some of it's like, that's just shit. The film in general is shit, but I chuckled a few times, so I'll give it a 6. I like Drew Barrymore. You also had Terry Crews doing this stupid African accent, dancing everywhere. What a pain in the arse he was. What else is there? Then, a horror film from 2019 called Trick. And this is just because there's a guy called Patrick. Get it? Trick, Patrick, yeah. It's a slasher. I don't like most slashers. I didn't know it was a slasher going into it. But there's a Halloween party playing spinning a knife. This kid picks up, stabs a bunch of people, goes on the run, stabbing other people. The cops shoot him. He falls out of a window. He's disappeared, so he's dead. Years later, is he back? Is it a copycat? And you figure it out. You figure out pretty quick what's going on. I give it a 4. Not very good. Not very good at all, really. Had I known it was a slasher, I wouldn't have watched it. Then a film I saw half of years ago called The Way, Way Back. Steve Carell, Sam Rockwell, Toni Collette. A summer film. This family, they go to their summer house, I'm guessing, the summer vacation, summer holiday, what you want to call it. And the son, he's quiet, he's awkward. His mother's boyfriend, Steve Carell, is a prick. You can tell he's a prick from the first scene. He's a prick. He's quiet, he's awkward, doesn't like his life. Then he finds a water park run by Sam Rockwell, meets a girl, coming of age story. You know the idea. I give that a 7. 2013. I liked it. I did. Started off slow, but got better. So The Way, Way Back. I like coming of age films when they're done right. We like everything when they're done right. Then The Boston Strangler from 1968. Tony Curtis is the Boston Strangler. Everyone knows of the Boston Strangler. People have heard of him. But this film, it was slightly strange. It threw me a bit. Because the editing was a bit jarring at first, because you'd have a small box there depicting something, then another box here depicting the same thing from a different angle. You'd have someone walking up the stairs, but then in the corner you'd have how the woman in the apartment feels that someone's walking up the stairs. That goes on all through the film, and it was a bit jarring. But, it was interesting. Henry Fonda showed up. Tony Curtis was good. Not the most exciting thing you'll ever see, but I give it a 7. I thought it was quite solid. Glad I watched it. Then I had a double header. I don't usually have double headers, but I had a double header from this box set. I watched The Invisible Man and The Bride of Frankenstein, because The Invisible Man I've seen a few times. Claude Rains is wonderful. Bride of Frankenstein I've seen once before, 1933 and 1935. I gave them both 7s. I wish The Bride was in it a little bit more than she is at the end, but everyone knows them. Then I watched True Grit with my dad. He doesn't watch many films, but he likes John Wayne. I watched True Grit. Also has Glenn Campbell show up, Robert Duvall. Everyone knows this. If you don't know this, then you know the remake, but a kid's father is shot dead. She wants to go and bring him to justice. She hires Rooster Cogburn to go out and get him. Excellent film. I give that a big 8. Did I say that I gave them 7s? Well, I gave those 7s. But yes, True Grit. I don't like the remake. I don't like Jeff Bridges in it. But is it Haley Steinfeld? She's not bad. I no desire to see that again. That one is excellent. I like it. So that's everything I watched. I am now off because it's only 9:30. I'm off to go and eat my bacon butty.